Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Mad About Sports. Here I am, Antriksh, and I have with me Sai, and we are here to discuss the series which starts against South Africa. So, India's tour of South Africa takes its second turn, which is the daunting ODI format. Yup, this will be the first ODI after we all know what happened. So, whether we all are ready to see our boys going out there playing the 50 over format or not, we don't know, but we shall see. Testing it out is the best way possible. So, Sai, we are going to start talking about the whole ODI mood. Like, how do you take this series? Yeah, there is a Champions Trophy very far from now, but the immediate task is the T20 World Cup. So, like, what's going on to your mind when you go into this series?
Yeah, today basically is kind of experimentation going on, right? Mainly kind of an audition going on for
Yeah,
the next year and mainly for the ODI World Cup, right? And to be honest, we all know that most of the players have already played the last ODI in the last World Cup, right? So now it will be kind of new players coming up, and those will be from this squad itself. Maybe Ruturaj or maybe Rinku again, and some new players also, right? So now these players are also a great contender for the Champions Trophy as well as for the 27 World Cup, right? So this is, I feel mainly this is kind of a experimentation going on, and I do kind of feel key all the players should enjoy because this is not anything kind of serious coming up. So everyone have their own time. You can take time, you can enjoy the game. So mainly, I feel in this manner.
fair enough. Yeah, exactly. So it's all about the experimentation now. It's all about trying to find that new gem or new gems. So yeah, we've seen with South Africa also. If we look at this squad, right, they have a lot of new players coming up. They had a decent outing at the World Cup as well. Of course, they faltered at the end, but so did we. So did we at the right end. But yeah, both of us are looking at the same motive. So it could be a good old series, right, where both the teams have sort of this fearless attitude because there's not much to lose, neither much to win. So it's going to be very interesting, right? What do you make of some new inclusions, right? Like Akashdeep, Rajat Patidar. Of course, Sai Sudarshan has been there once or twice, but Sai Sudarshan, right? Rinku Singh, obviously, properly in his ODI sort of career now. Like, what do you make of all of these inclusions?
Yeah, because now the seniors are not available, and that's why these are the players who will get a chance. At least they will get a single game to play. And today I feel Sai Sudarshan will make his debut because, according to the reports and the shows coming up previously from last couple of days, so I feel Sai Sudarshan will make a debut today. Also with the other players, so it's a great opportunity because a debut and that too overseas debut is again a great thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we have seen in terms of if you talk about senior players when they made their debut, it was against a kind of a loose team or maybe in Indian
Yeah.
conditions and kind of very kind of advantage they already have
Favorable.
that,
Yeah.
right? But this time, from this year or maybe from couple of years, the players who are making a comeback or kind of a debut, they are giving it into a different conditions or kind of a difficult conditions, right?
Yeah.
Again, I guess Rinku again played against Ireland first, again a difficult condition for him as well, right? So this is a thing that they have to kind of cope up with because nowadays the competition is very high, even though they are newcomers or even though they are uh, kind of freshers, but still they need to match the level that international
Yeah.
demands, right? So I feel everyone will get a game. I personally look forward to Rinku Singh in the ODIs and then Rajat Patidar because the way he have shown the kind of ability to handle the pressure in the knockout
Yeah.
games or maybe in the pressure games in the IPL. So I would like to see that in this series.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, there are a couple of players that I'd like to talk about that have not made, the squad. I mean, of course, see, there was a lot of talk about Suryakumar Yadav, whether he should have been here or not. But now that he's been handled the captaincy, right? At least for a couple of, he doesn't make it, right? I don't think he's there in the squad. Neither is Shubman Gill. I don't understand this quite well. Maybe if I'm the only one, but him, it's not like he's one of the senior players, right? Like he's in that post World Cup kind of distress. He was there for the T20s. So why not for the ODIs wherein he rarely has his medal?
Yeah. So I mean, it firstly it can be a thought of rest. That may be a thought, but as we know, these are not regular players in terms of the load management and all. They don't have to play all the three formats. Shubman, yeah, but not for Sky. So I don't feel any kind of rest they need personally. Secondly, I feel it's about the format or the upcoming World Cup we have is moreover T20 focused. From here on, the next month we have Afghanistan and then IPL and then the World Cup. So we hardly have anything left in terms of ODIs. So
Yeah.
that's why maybe that is a thought others should also get a chance to at least play a couple of games. And we all know Shubman and Sky will eventually be in the next month for the team, right? Again, if we have any other games coming up apart from the test matches, if we have, then again they will be featured in that. But these
Mm.
players, this squad will not be able to make it in the further uh, games
Yeah.
for India.
Yeah, of
That may
course,
be a
because
thought.
go on, go on.
Yeah, so I feel that may be an important thought. Ki this player should also get exposure of overseas tournament or overseas series. So that may be a thought, and that's why I feel Shuman and Sky is not right now in the squad. And also, this is a T20 year, so I don't feel this is to worry about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maybe I feel with Sky it could actually be something that could be permanent, right? Because why was Sky there? Sky was there to be the finisher. Now, if suddenly Rinku Singh comes in, right, and he gives us that, I don't think any team needs two bona fide finishers in their squad, right? And I think if Rinku does end up doing well, which I think he will, and I really hope we persist with him in that ODI setup, right? Because if he does it at T20 at such a consistent level, he has to replicate some form of it in the ODIs, of course. So that might be a thing. But with Shubman, of course, I now that I just thought about it, I just think that they wanted to test out two, three new openers. That's it, right? They just wanted to test out maybe for that one position in that Champions Trophy. Like, but again, then I would have liked to see someone like a Yashasvi Jaiswal here as well. I don't know, there's just a lot of players. So yeah, I mean there is Shreyas Iyer, there is Kuldeep Yadav from the World Cup and also play the T20. So yeah, but now moving on to the South African squad, right? They are, although they are a bit chopped and changed as well, but they are a heavyweight in terms of what they played in the World Cup, right? There's Markram, there's Klaassen, there's Hendricks, who of course was in the squad, but yeah, he didn't play much because of Bahuma. I don't know why Bahuma was playing so much, but he did. So there's Van der Dusen, there was Miller, Maharaj, Shamsi. Yeah, that's about it. So light on the bowling side of things, but heavy still on the batting side. So yeah, what do you make of their squad? Any particular names that you're really looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, I was just looking at the toss update. So I feel it's South Africa batting first. They have won the toss. And if I talk about, as you said, batting heavy side, perfectly because they have strengthened their batting. Almost,
Yeah,
they have the almost equal side which played in the World Cup. Same 11, same
yeah,
batting lineup in terms of the top five, top six. So I
yeah.
don't feel they have any problem in the batting order. And that's why they choose batting first. And we all know batting first what they can do in terms of ODIs, especially. So if the conditions favor them, if we don't have any much weather interruptions in between, so I don't feel they will settle down anything before 350. They will for sure go for 350, minimum 350, because again, the pitch conditions, even though it's their home conditions, but still at some point of time, it will help the bowlers.
Mm,
So in terms of their batting, I personally love their captain Markram because he has been the kind player to lead from the front, and he have
yeah.
did it for multiple times. And I feel
Yeah.
this year is their year because South African cricket in this year they have emerged a lot in terms
Mhm.
of if you talk about their first before the World Cup they played against Australia, right? And after losing two back-to-back games, they made a solid comeback and they won the series by winning
Yeah.
back-to-back three games. And all the games they won by more than 100 runs margin, right? And this is what they can do. And even though that was Australian side, and I don't feel they were kind of a complete strength, but still it was Australia.
Yeah.
And again, now again, we are not with our full strength, right? And if you talk about the T20I series, they were with their full strength. Again, in the
Yeah.
T20I series, we were not with our full strength, right? But still, we managed to won the last game, right? And the first game went washed out. But if the game happened at that point of time, then I personally feel it was our game anyhow because in the second game it was completely batting friendly because of the condition happened, the rain interruption happened. So even
Yeah.
if it was any other team, they had chased it. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything special that that team did it from nowhere. It was the conditions favor them, so anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the third game, it was completely disappointment from their side. But
Yeah.
yeah, in terms of their batting, in ODIs they do have that caliber because their top five, top six is almost equal, and we can expect the similar kind of performance they did in the World Cup. So if they were able to do around 350, then it will be the game on, and I feel it will be beyond 350.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a very sort of interesting experience for our bowlers, right? Like Avesh Khan, of course, Kuldeep Yadav is a seasoned campaigner, so is Aksar, but Chahal coming back. There'll be Washington Sundar if he's around, Arshdeep Singh, Akashdeep and Arshdeep, especially in watching them bowl 10 overs each, like, of course, because it's ODIs. Mukesh Kumar, that's going to be so interesting to see how they adapt in different phases of the game, right? We've not seen them yet don the blue jersey in the longer format of the game. So that is something I'm really looking forward to. And yeah, you're right. You know what? Like as you said, the South African cricket has to it needed a resurgence, right? Like we remember, of course. See, you. I mean, it's easy to judge teams on the number of World Cups they've won, but we all know that cricket is not just that, right? Cricket is played 365 days all year round, and a World Cup happens once every 4 years. So while that South African team didn't make sort of the world their own in terms of winning trophies, but they had legend players like Dale Steyn, that they're more Morkel, right? And for some time they were struggling to replace them, right? But then they did, right? But then came another problem with the retiring of De Villiers, Duplessis, right? With the uncertain future of De Kock. What did they do? Then certainly they created a couple of players in Klaassen, then Van der Dusen. Markram has stepped up his game. So they have had a good sort of mini resurgence which they needed. I mean, Maharaj coming in for Tahir. I remember Tahir in his last 4 5 years, he was like number one across all formats. Of course, Test he didn't play much, but like anything he played, he was just gold. So yeah, very interesting. Anyways, if we move on to like some specific players, right? We have to talk about Akshar Patel, right? We talked about him in the last sort of setup, but what's up with him? See, of course, Ravindra Jadeja is not here, so Akshar Patel is here. How do you see Akshar Patel's future, man? Like, what does he have to do? Does he have to take 10 wickets and score 100? Like, because I just feel whatever he'll do, like, irrespective of whatever he'll do, if Jadeja is picked up in the next squad, Jadeja will be there, right? Like we saw with Ruturaj, he scored 100. He literally gave out a textbook of how to time a T20 innings. But as soon as Shubman Gill came in, it was him and not Yashasvi Jaiswal who was replaced, right? So, how do you feel Akshar Patel is like? What is his future in terms of the Indian team setup white ball format?
Yeah, I mean, for him, I was just looking at the squad. So yeah, he's there. He's in the playing 11 today. But yeah, because we were not having much options around that position, so he have to be in the 11 anyhow. So in terms of future, I feel he's doing well. But to be honest, he is more or a more of a bowling all-rounder rather than a batting all-rounder, because and that is vice versa to Jadeja. He is more of a batting all-rounder. Again, in Test, we don't have a comparison in an even, because Jadeja is way more better, because he performed in the overseas conditions as well, right? Akshar, we haven't seen him in the overseas conditions in Test specifically, so not sure about that. But for the white ball, especially in ODIs, Jadeja is much more ahead. In terms of T20Is, that is the only format we can compare both, to be honest, because in terms of ODIs and Test, we cannot compare these two players because there are different levels. But in terms of T20Is, where you don't care about the senior level or the junior level, in that scenario, yes, we have a comparison. In that, we need someone who can do something like Rinku Singh, right? And that
Yeah.
Jadeja is much more capable of doing that as compared to um, Akshar Patel, right? So that is the only thing I feel in terms of bowling. Bowling is much more better for T20Is. In terms of bowling, I feel Akshar Patel is much more ahead than Jadeja. But for the batting side, Jadeja is still ahead because uh, we have seen in the last series as well. This squad, the today's squad, was announced after third game, right?
Yeah.
And for the first three games, Akshar haven't performed at all, and his
Yeah. Yeah.
performance
Yeah.
came in the last two games, right?
Right.
With the bat, with the ball, and that was a kind of a mistiming between the his performance and the release of the squad, because the
Yeah.
management have seen the first three games, and based on that they made a call in terms of the squad.
Yeah.
So for the first three games, he haven't performed at all with the bat, with the ball. But as soon as the squad came out for the next two games, he was in a different level with the bat and with the ball. Right. So that is the mistiming that happened with him. But again, yeah, and we know that he was in the contention of the last World Cup, right? He
Mm.
got injured. He got injured, but he was going to make it in terms of the squad. And if he was in the squad, then for sure he will play in the 11, right? You cannot keep him outside. Like today, Rinko is not there. Today we have Sanju, right? Today we have Sanju, then we have Tilak, and then Sai Sudarshan. So these three players we have. Then the typical players are here in the middle order. Top will be
Yeah.
Gaikwad and KL. That will be the top
Yeah,
order.
I was just going to talk about it, and I'm very disappointed. I swear, I'm very disappointed, right? To see Rinku fall out because, like, just because you've not dealt with Samson well, just because you've not managed him well, now you're just putting him in a position that isn't his, right? Like, is Samson meant to be a finisher now? Like, he's never done that. Neither is Tilak Verma, nor is Shreyas Iyer. Sai Sudarshan bats very up. Like, what is the see that we were discussing it, Sai, right, the other day, right? That we are very personnel based. We are not very role based, right? We don't have roles. We don't, or at least if even if we do, the selection committee or the board of whoever is in charge of picking these players, they don't follow this role kind of a system, right? That okay, one down will be someone who guides through the innings. Two will be someone who we can build around. Three would be someone who has a gear but then can stay with the ship. Four will be someone who can hit around the park. Five will be an all-rounder who has the ability to. They don't have it. They're like, अच्छा श्रेयस अय्यर यहाँ पे, राहुल यहाँ पे, अच्छा सैमसन को यहाँ fit कर देते हैं. It's like just like we used to play cricket back in the day, right? कि तू 3 wicket बाद, 4 wicket बाद.
Right.
Like who's the finisher here? Who is the finisher here? I don't know. Like just trust Rinku Singh. You know, as you very well mentioned, right? It's not about the formats anymore. Cricket is merging. This might as well, you know, we might as well be in a situation wherein it's like a T20 situation for Rinku. कि 6-7 over बचे and he needs to smack around the park. So how is it different from any T20? So yeah, man, I'm just very sort of disappointed with that one change. I've not even seen the ball. So just to announce, the XI for today is Rahul, captain and keeper. Very surprised that he opens because Sai, you were mentioning this very well that even if he plays well in the IPL, he has to play somewhere which is not at the top of the order. He has to play somewhere in the middle. So there were reports of him saying, apparently telling LSG that he doesn't want to open. He wants to go somewhere in the middle because that's the only way he can make the T20 squad of India. But yeah, very surprised. if he still opens, okay, maybe in the ODI he does. So Rahul is opening. Ruturaj Gaikwad is his partner. One down, we have Sudarshan. Then we have Iyer. We have Tilak Varma in at 5. In at 6, we have Samson. And then again, we have a huge tail with Aksar from 5, then Arshdeep, then Avesh Khan, then Kuldeep Yadav, then Mukesh Kumar. I really hate this long tail. I hated it in the World Cup. I hate it today again. But anyways, with South Africa, it's Riza Hendricks, a good player. Then we have Dizorzi, Van der Dusen, Markram, Klaassen, Miller. So a very strong middle order and top middle order, right? And then they have Mulder, they have Fatlakwayo, they have Maharaj, they have Burger, and they have Shamsi. So yeah, again, light on the bowling setup. So what do you make of the two teams, and how do you see this one panning out?
Yeah, I mean, as we are bowling first right now, so I don't feel anything in the squad kind of a very deadly bowler today. All the
Okay.
bowlers are kind of calm chill out bowlers, right? Because
Yeah.
I personally feel if we had a chance, then it's only in the power play, first 10 overs.
Mm.
If we can
Yeah.
take two, three wickets in the 10 overs, which our bowlers are capable of, like Mukesh or Arshdeep or Avish. If these three bowlers strike in the first 10 overs, only then we have a chance because 350 is still not enough in today's ODI cricket. If we have to chase around 400, then it's impossible because still in the batting lineup, how many players are there who have been in the situation where they chased 400 or even
Yeah.
350? We don't have any player, hardly two players, KL Rahul and Iyer. These are the two players we have where
Yeah.
they have been a part of the team where the team chased around 400. Apart from these two, we don't have anyone who have that amount of kind of patience or caliber. So that's the only thing because we are bowling first. So I feel that is a disadvantage already because our bowlers are not that much deadly who can kind of restrict under 300. It will be around 350 for sure. And to chase down 350, we have to uh, we have to win the power play, bowling power play as well as batting power play.
Yeah. Fair enough. So, yeah, I just look at that South African 11, right? And that's my point. So, 5 down, you have an all rounder who can bat. Then you have Fetlukwayo again, an all rounder who can bat. We have seen Maharaj, someone who can sometimes bat to a decent level as well. So, you have that tail, but you still have some strength left. With us, if Samson goes, I'm not sure about Aksar as we were talking, right? In terms of batting, he's an out and out bowling all rounder. So Aksar है उसके बाद तो भूल ही जाओ भाई राम भरोसे as they say, right? Like it's Arshdeep, Avesh, Kuldeep, Mukesh. That's such a huge tail, and it's not just about this team. We just generally go with it, and I don't know what's up. It's like we feel that Hardik Pandya is the solution of all of our problems. So if he comes in, everything's going to be sorted. But let's see about that. So yeah. So prediction time now, Sai. So what do you predict, and like how do you see this one going?
I want to say India, but as we are bowling first, so I'll say South Africa today. But one outside chance is there, to be honest, and that is the first power play. If we win first power play, at least three wickets in the power play, then for sure we have a chance. Because you can see the lineup, because they don't have a huge tail like we have today, right?
Yeah.
And even though they lose three wickets initially, still they have the chance uh,
Yeah.
to settle down around 350, right?
Yeah.
But if we lose three wickets initially, then we don't have a chance to even cross 300, right?
Yeah.
So
Makes
that
sense.
is the thing I feel.
Okay, so you feel it's going to be South Africa, but there's an outside chance if India rack up some wickets in the power play, right? So yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with South Africa only. I have that feeling, right? Or yeah, again, I have that outside chance theory, but let's see, let's see. Okay, thank you so much, Sai, for joining in today. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in. It was a pleasure doing this. So yeah, till the next time, let's see how India fares. And before the second ODI, take care of yourselves, and we'll speak to you guys in a bit. Cheers.